Okay, guys. So good afternoon, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the holidays. Maybe you did your responsible voting. So we'll just start with JavaScript. Are you clear till HTML, CSS, Bootstrap concepts and all? So today I will update the questions. In Explore tab, you'll have interview questions. So we'll be adding and editing the questions, and I'm just doing the same, right? So you'll be getting the same, okay, in the website. So I will update each and every question. How we need to explain the same way. You'll get in Explore tab, even copy paste the code. You just copy it and paste it in any the channel.js, since that is JavaScript. You can copy as it is and you can execute it. It is executable code. So this is how, if you have any reference here, it will be there here. You can get the same reference, like any online reference that will be. So this is how it will be there. So I just didn't introduce another Android app for only these interview questions. So that might be the big cost. So that's why I just added this, because anyway you will open this daily, so you can explore the same. Right. So okay. So we'll just start with JavaScript and its overview, and we'll continue move on. Okay, fine. So JavaScript, I can say it's a language of web. So web can understand any programming language, means that we'll call as JavaScript. That we will not call as programming language, but we'll call as scripting language, because there is no compilation like Java, C++. There is no bytecode to machine code conversion, nothing. It will just execute line by line. Before that, it will allocate memory for the variables, right? So for example, Python is also an interpreter language, high level interpreter language, because there is no compilation. It will execute line by line, which is interpretation, understanding line by line and executing and giving the output. Before that, it will allocate memory for whatever the things we have. That things means variables or functions, whatever we have the logics, right? Line by line. So that will be executed. That is why we'll call as scripting language. Only the browser can understand JavaScript, because that is built on JavaScript engine. So which engine is browser? Google Chrome is using V8. Microsoft related, IE or Edge is using Chakra browser, means Chakra engine. So since that is rely on engine, so it can understand only JavaScript. So now using JavaScript, we can add the dynamic feature for the web page. Since if I refresh this, if I refresh this and over it, so whenever I open this with this particular ID or something, which is encrypted, right? So it is loading the whole content, right? If it is loading the whole content means what? So it is getting request from the server, it is requesting the server and it is getting back the response. So that is where JavaScript will be helpful. If I just edit it and update it, right? For example, if I remove not completed, if I save it, where it will store. So it will call the server and it will store and get back the response. And even if I edit or delete it, it will be deleted permanently if I delete it, right? Anyway, I can't delete that. But if I'm doing the same, even if I'm moving down, this one, if I move down, one become two and two become one, right? Go to JavaScript. Here one became two and two became one. So again, I will move up because I don't want that same. It is successful. 100%. Fine. This is 100%. Yes. So this request response will be there with the help of JavaScript, where we can see that right click and inspect it. This is there in mobile view. There we have network tab. So in network tab, so whatever here we will see, right? That will be the request. And in preview and response, we can see the response if you're getting some response, right? So that will be request and response. With the help of JavaScript only, we can able to do that. If not, we can't do that. If we are not providing that particular, if I do explore, we are getting some questions. Those are not stored. Those we are not giving, our browser is not giving. That particular website is fetching from their secured origin, which no one can access without logging in, right? So without logging in, no one can access that. That is what the authentication we will call. And since I am the admin, I can edit and delete it. For you, it is restricted. That is the authorization. Permitting to do or not. That is authorization. Okay, this is what authentication. That is what authorization. This is also an interview question for the freshers. So that also I will mention. Okay. So with the help of JavaScript only, two people or two websites or two Android apps or one Android app or another website or even so the payment gateway is integrated in your phone pay, like that will be integrated in IRCTC or TTD ticket booking system or Amazon Pay UPI with UPI or credit card. Means those are particular website from another source, from another company. If it is Visa, Visa card, Mastercard, that is a company, right? So ICICI credit card, ICICI card. Finally, that is Visa or Mastercard. Anyway, Visa is a company which is providing cards. Those are banks are the clients for Visa. Mastercard also same. All Indian Bank, every bank is a client for Mastercard because that card and chip system is introduced by them. They are using that. Those are collided and they are integrated. Working together means communicating with each other with the help of web or Android app because of JavaScript. Without JavaScript, nothing will exist simply, right? So that is where we need to learn the JavaScript. So JavaScript we need to execute using .js file. That .js file you cannot directly execute. You need to attach to HTML file using script tag. Script.link relation equal to script or text.js, and we need to mention the href of that. If you are using script, we can do src. If you are linking that, you need to use href. So we can attach the JavaScript file. So now let's see, we just create and do something. So now see, inspect it. So, so whatever we have, right? Whatever we have here. So this is warning. Warning will be yellow. Error will be red. Warning will be yellow. Error will be red. Normal thing will be console log. So this is what console logs of the browser. This will be helpful with the help of console. Okay. Now I will just put the error. So this one, this is the same error, right? I just want to do console log. Console dot error. See, I got same error, but I just put console dot error. If I want to put log, means as a message, right? I can put like this, console dot log. Okay. Multi-line text we can write using backtick characters only, not single quotes or double quotes. This is log. So what about console.warn? That will be in yellow, right? That is warning. So for any website, if you're getting these and all will be console. So that will be console errors. Whatever, even though any website you go, even you go this particular website, go and inspect it. Those are console warnings and errors. Here we have one error, 16 warnings. If you have more than one means you will get the count here. Okay. Got it right. See, this is warning, right? See, if I expand this 16 times, it's got in index.html. So just copy this. I'll just put console.warn. It is like same, but you can able to differentiate. It's tsc min.xml and this is what index.html. If you click on it, you can able to identify. But you see here VMs 261.7. This will be what you will get if you do in console. Console you are doing, right? That will be having some temporary file name. If you click on that, it will only open for you. Means you are doing it manually in console. That will happen like this. Okay, using some code for that and line number 1. So that will be what you do in console directly with your right with your hand. So that will come like this. So even see, I just want to put this. Go to console. We have console.log. Console.log percentage C. Percentage C. This is okay. I'll just put some message. So we can also modify the console log using percentage C and put the same message. Again put comma and give some string, which is the style of that CSS style. So we can apply console log like this also. So now you see any website. Uh, so here we have background color light red and this color is same, right? So how you are getting that? Basically using that only. I will just put the same. Just see that how we are getting. Console.log. So background color. I think not yellow, light yellow, right? So some different color. This color. This is some different color. So just check from color codes. Okay, let it be. Make this one. Somewhat. Okay, let it be. So this is how it can modify using hash percent. So if you are entering console.1, finally it is converting console.log to styling of that particular error color. If you're using console.error, finally it is converting background color as some light red using same console log. That is internally working, but console log is the main feature to log the messages, whatever the message user wants to identify using console. That is browser console. That is the importance of console. Fine, right? Now we have window. So I just want to delete it, but it should prompt yes or no. That is window.prompt. So there will be some websites like if you are trying to refresh the page by filling the form without saving, then it will ask for you want to save the current form or not. That is window.alert. You are alerting. It is alerting you whether you want to do it or not. That is window.alert, right? And window.confirm. This is what confirm whether it is true or false. That is yes or no. You want to confirm. You want to delete it or not. Prompt means it will take some message from you, like an alert. Alert means yes or no, what you want to do. Prompt means it will take some input from you. If you take some input, it will get that in read in JavaScript, right? So that how you need to do. So basically in JavaScript in .js file we can write it, but I just want to show you in console itself so that you can easily understand. Okay, that is working on this website. So you can attach that imagination to this website. So So they basically in JavaScript, there are 3 to 4 objects which we want to know. One is navigator. So in navigator, we will get everything like app name, right? It's Bluetooth clipboard, everything, language, logged in manager, product, vendor, Google, agent, Mozilla, Windows 64-bit, everything, Windows 10, everything you will get it from navigator. Bluetooth clipboard means if you copy something, it is copied in the clipboard. I will show you now. So explore, go to explore and just copy this. So just refresh this, again put navigator. So now you do clipboard navigator dot clipboard. Red text. So okay. Okay, anyway. So one is navigator. Even navigator.online, it will give true or false because you are online now. If you are offline, you'll get false, right? And we have window. Window is nothing but every browser. This is window, 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 this is window. Now we are in this window. So in window, we need to learn window. So that's why if you do window.alert, you will get alert. So registration.bytespace is in the window. You put window.alert means only this window will get that. So window is the current tab which is open, and window dot we have document. You need to learn that also. These objects anyway. I am there. I will explain. So document is which document is loaded currently. Currently we loaded the document in courses. What course we open this course? That is the document. The document URL is this. So now in that particular document, there is a class with, class and ID for any HTML tag. You want to get some element by class name or tag name, by ID name. ID is not a name, ID or something. You will get window.document also fine, but document also directly you can access. Document.get element by class name, tag name, ID, etc. If you put, for example, ID, complete batch, or get element by class name. I know there is a badge name, complete badge as class. So if it is there, I will get it. No, no. We just check this. Okay. We have BTN primary. BTN white splash primary. We have that, right? We have that one button, BTN white splash primary. So what is that button? We have one button, right? Which is a button. So that HTML element will get it. Whatever there is log out LRMS. Okay, okay. So this is there in mobile view. It is not visible, right? Because display is none for the media screen. So now if you open this, you can see that particular button. This is registration, right? I think I'm not enabled. Okay, I just enable. Let's check. This is RMS. So that is there. BTN byte splash privacy. It is not, it is now able to focus. So using document, we can do all this DOM manipulation, kind of. So that is where we need to learn document, window API, navigator API, mainly. Okay. Those we'll call as API or objects. So now what is the other? We just entered alert, right? Now we'll take prompt. Prompt means we are taking something, input. Please enter inputs. for mm, pyramid pattern size. How much size you want to give? I want 4 as a size. So we'll get 4 as a size. We can convert that parse into 4. So we'll get the number, okay? So since it's coming as single quotes, it will treat as a string. By default, JavaScript treat everything as a string, but we want to convert if we want to convert, right? Using parse that into integer. If you want to parse that into float also, we can do fine based on our requirement. If it is percentage or kind of, okay. What if I do parse int of this one? It will round it. It will be rounded. Parse int of math dot seal. That will be. And again, what we have window dot alert prompt. We have one more thing. Confirm. Okay, you want to confirm whether you want to delete it or not. Are you sure to refresh without saving the form? Are you? No, you don't want? Yes, I'm okay. Okay, I want to refresh. No, I want to cancel. So we'll get true or false. Based on that, we will do it or not, we will decide. We got true, right? So this is what window.prompt, window.alert, window confirm. So we'll get on the particular websites, all those, right? We'll get it to this particular website. Yeah, so that is one. And even in console here also, you can upload canvas images and everything. So let's show that. So basically, we don't want that. So graphical text, I just mentioned. Even canvas, everything we can mention that.
JavaScript we can write in nearest concept. How to do like it will be continuing directly if we are seeing website.
I'm just checking what is the next module. Variables and defining. So, okay, next measuring console. Here we'll have all the consoles. So actually we'll be covering console in separate module, but I just introduced you. So now we'll start with, see now, I want to attach JavaScript to HTML. Now you will get it. So I want to attach a JavaScript file to HTML so that I will get these buttons. So basically these buttons are dynamic content, right? These buttons are dynamic content. Using JavaScript only we got the data. Since we want to store it somewhere means we need to create a container for that. That container will be a variable, right? We can store some data attached into that variable so that if we call that variable, we'll get the data. So that I need to attach. Now just create a website. I think we already here, right? So just create a sample.html, right? Create a sample.html. Create HTML. So we have division as id equal to some sample -div. We need to write in JavaScript in a script tag. Open and close of the script tag. You can write inside below body also. So basically what will happen if you write the script on top of the page, right? If you're doing DOM manipulation, before this is rendered onto the browser, JavaScript might execute here. Then what might happen? You will get the undefined. Because if you're doing DOM manipulation, means first DOM will initialize, right? Then only you'll able to use that particular document.getElement by ID. Otherwise, you can't get it. So that is why you'll put script in below sometimes. So now I want to create name equal to Bhargava. I want to attach the same to because I got Bhargav from server bhargava@gmail.com. Right. The same. Go to LMS, your ID card number, everything you'll have, right? Because we are getting it from the server. For me, I will not get it because I don't want. So I have names already because I logged in. If I am logged in as a Bhargav, I will get it. You'll have ID card here. So that is loading. And here you have ID card number also, right? So that is getting from server. So that we want to store somewhere, right? This is name, not email. So directly put it. Bhargavaram. Bhargavaram Chaudhary Naidu Reddy. This is your name. Now I want to show it. Okay. So what I can do, I will do document dot get element by ID sample -new dot. We have inner context here. Inner HTML you can directly mention. So just run it. So using JavaScript only we can able to build. So now let's see. We have all the courses like subjects. You got it right. We have subjects. Angular, HTML and HTML5, right? What is the third subject? Bootstrap. JavaScript. Mahesh? JavaScript. TypeScript. JavaScript, TypeScript. Now I want to make inside this HTML as the buttons. So what I can do directly. So, so we can loop this subject dot for each. We can do put in for loop. So we'll tell the for loop and everything in upcoming series. But using JavaScript, we can do everything. So now I will get this element, right? Actually, we got this element, okay? Where element equal to fine, we got this element. So we'll not put inner HTML here. We got this element. So what I will create now, let child button. We can have document dot create element. What I want to create button. So just put button. So we have dot value. Button value. Inner text. Just put inner text or inner HTML as X. Every time X will come the data, right? Now we'll append that element dot append child of child. Just try now. So we have 5 buttons. So again we'll element dot class name, we can add it btn can add it. We can write styles for this class using class name. You know now you can play around, right? Top bottom 0.7 rem, right and left 1 rem, right? Font size medium, background color has 007 1 BT or 1 BE. color as white, font weight 600. Okay. So what we did, we added for element. We should not add for element, we should add for child. So that is, so again we'll attach margin left, one rem. We don't want any border, border none. Now let's see. So again we'll add border radius 6 pixel, right? So that is fine. It's automatically got because of JavaScript. So this is how we can do magics. So using Java, now you understand, right? Using JavaScript, you can directly attach HTML because that is coming from server. You got it right. So that is how we need to attach JavaScript to the HTML. Defining the variables using variable name, scope, arrays, object, strict mode, finding an object constructor, fine. Hmm? Hmm. All right. So when it comes to functions, I will tell you. You got it right. So, so now this module is all about scopings, naming conventions, etc. So basically in JavaScript, we have global scope, which is Windows scope. So I will just debug it and I will show you. So basically using var keyword, we can create a variable, which is this name as variable name. And we can directly assign value. You can see it is interpreting as string because you assign string. If you assign number, it will interpret as number. So that is the dynamic coupling or dynamic typing. The JavaScript is dynamic language. We no need to give data type. So it will automatically take as Python. Like how Python will take automatically. That's how it will take. So that is dynamically typed. That is not statically typed. If it is statically typed, it means we need to give data type external so that it will not take automatically. You got it right? Now, so actually, so whenever I create a variable with var, so it will automatically create the memory space for the name in the browser memory area, not in RAM, not in random access memory. Because browser is loaded in RAM and in browser memory area, again, variable is loaded. Again, where there are many windows, in which window it will, current window it will load, right? So that we will call as window scope or global scope. So we can create variables in three ways using let a equal to 5, var b equal to 6, const a const salary equal to 72,000. So what is difference between let, var and const? Var is a global scope which will be hoisted. Hoisting means before executing line by line, line by line. So it will allocate memory for the global variables and as well as var, which is their functions, variables, it will allocate memory. And it will say once it is allocated with memory, before assigning the value, it will be having undefined. So that is what hoisting. Before executing line by line, each and every global variable like var and functions will be allocated with memory space, right? In the global memory area and with undefined. So I will create another function, add to. It will take two inputs, a comma b, and it will return a plus b. So don't think about anything like function. What is this? I will explain you. And I will call you function 1, comma 2. So let's debug this so that you can understand what exactly this memory area and all. Okay. Right click and go to sources. Control Shift P. Remove greater than. You'll have the file which is there running on the current port. So just put some debugger here. Right. And refresh it. Now whenever the page refreshes, you'll commit. See now, here we have the pointer means. Here we have the pointer means it is executing line by line now. Before that memory is already allocated. Now see name subjects element P is already there with undefined, not value unavailable. I will show you. P as undefined. You already see this. element as undefined. You can able to see that. Subjects as undefined. We can able to see that. So basically what I told, hoisting is the process where all the global variables will be allocated with memory space and attached with undefined, because that is not defined any value. Undefined is also a type where the value is not at all defined. All the global variables will come to this with where and function keyword also. Right? Even this function also, it's a hoisted here. It will get it. So basically, add is also function. Again, whenever you call that particular function, and what is that name is add. So length is 2, right? This is 1 line and this is 2 lines. And we have 2 inputs as length 2. And we have prototype, which is an object. So we have the constructor of that so that we can access that particular thing. So this is the function, how it is stored. A, B, it's undefined. So that is what hoisting. Now you see in script, again, we have global. This is the scope, which is the window scope. That is only the interview question. You can directly tell that. So hoisting is nothing but the process of before executing line by line, in the whole file, JavaScript file, we have global variables and functions that will be allocated with memory space in the browser memory area, which is global scope, that is window scope, right? With undefined as a value. And we have variables let and const. So these are block scoped variables. So these are block scope. That block will be script block or a function block or a for loop or if else condition. That will be block which is there in the open brace and closed braces. Since it is there inside the script tag, the let a and salary const will be there in the script, which is value unavailable because that is not hoisted. If it is hoisted, it will be assigned with undefined, right? It is not hoisted means it is there in the script tag. Value is unavailable, right? So now let's see. You have let a equal to 5. You just define let a, not assigns any value. But for where you can use it, but let you can't use it, I will tell you again. But before that, what is difference between let and const? Both are same scope, means block scope. But const cannot be changed. Changed means not, we can change the value, but not object reference. So see now, I will show you. You are printing this, that is fine. You are reassigning the another value. It is not, acceptable. So what is acceptable in cell? If you put object and give some name, again give some course. Salary dot course you can change. This is acceptable because you are just modifying the property of an object, but not the whole object. This is wrong again. If you whole object you are reassigning means const will violate. Const is constant, it cannot changeable. Means object reference cannot be changeable. So I will just, execute it again. So let's see. See here, we have const as sal. So course is modified. But if you are reassigning that, you will get error. Okay. Assignment to constant variable, it's very bad, right? That will become error. Where sample.html, line number 78, 8th character. Okay. So there you are trying to reassign, it is not happen. So that is the difference between let, where, and const. Right. So now, see now, let is there in the script scope because that is in that particular block only. What if I write this let a equal to 5 in the another block? Let I means function like for loop. Then you will see the real block scope. See, I is block scope and A is also block scope. Basically, what is happening? So it's nothing but a block, open rows and closed braces. So this let inside this, it will be alive. Whenever pointer come out of loop, then it will be dead. So only in that particular block it is available. Out of the block, it will not be available. What if I create with where? This will sit in global scope again, okay? Because where is global scope? See what is happening if I create with where. It will sit in the global scope again. Remember that point. Even though if you create inside the block, that will store out of the block. Let's check that. Okay. See, it is there, but see where it is exactly. It is in global scope. That is why inside block we can create using let or const based on our usage, not global variable at all. If we create that, it will create in the global scope only. Got it right? So that is where block scope, script scope, and if you create inside the function, then it will come in the function scope. Function add. So see, I don't want to do that. I want to call add, right? I can call it. Here it is calling anyway. Just come to the next line. Okay, here it's violating, right? I just comment it, okay? Otherwise it will violate always. Since it's violating, it will throw an error and we'll stop it. In order to continue the flow, we need to do exception handling. You got it, right? Salary we are reassigning, which is violating the coding principle. So it is stopping there itself because of error, which is a runtime error. In order to handle that, the concept called exception handling we will use. Any programming language, if you're getting the same issue, we need to do exception handling. See now, local scope, local for the particular function. Since function is hoisted in the window, which is a global scope, it will get the reference of the window also. Why? Because if we are using this one inside the function, where it will read, because it will be there in window only, right? So this where B is where it is stored in window. If I'm trying to use that which is outside of the function, because function is hoisted in the same window, because you already know function is hoisted in the same window. This function is add a comma b, right? It is same in the window global scope. That is why that function will have, we can able to use the window variables also. A5. It can also use A5. This dot A. What is the difference here now? You can directly execute that code here because that is in debugging. All the variables you can see, right? Those you can access. Whenever debugging is completed, you cannot access because memory will be freed up. If you put this dot A5, because this means window in the function. If you put just A, local A, you got it right. So function will have the this reference, which is window scope, because that is hoisted, right? Arrow functions will not have the same because arrow functions are not hoisted. Those are block scope, right? Or stack scope. So normal functions are hoisted in window. That's why it will get this reference. You got it right, Harsha? అర్థమైంది కదా? So since it's a normal function, the normal function is an add, which is there in the global scope, which is an add. That function will have two arguments, 1, 2. That is callable. So అందువల్ల ఇప్పుడు ఆ ఫంక్షన్ ని మనం కాల్ చేసినప్పుడు దాని లోపల నువ్వు ఏవైతే డిక్లేర్ చేస్తావో అవి మళ్ళీ లోకల్ స్కోప్ లో వస్తాయి, తెలుసు కదా? ఫర్ లూప్ లో ఎలా అయితే కొత్తగా క్రియేట్ అయిందో, ఏదైతే నువ్వు క్రియేట్ చేస్తావో సేమ్ అలాగే నువ్వు పంపించిన ఏ కామా బి, it will create in local scope because that function inside the function వరకే అది ఉంటది. ఫంక్షన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత whenever this closed brace is completed, then this will be erased. Till that point, this function will be having local scope. ఆ local scope లో this ఉంటది. This అంటే this window because function is hoisted, right? అందువల్ల it is sharing the same memory area. That is why you get the window. So How you can access is you can access using window.a. That is also fine. Instead of window, you can put this. This means current window. You can access these different ways. Okay. Since I am not using here anything, I can use salary. Or even I can console.log. I can use subjects also, right? Because that is sharing the same memory area where function is sharing. So you can see the difference. That's it, right? It can able to store it, right? Definitely. Because that Windows scope will be available for the functions because it is hoisted. Hoisted means it's available in the Windows scope, which is global scope. So this is where defining variables, using variables, naming conventions. So basically how the naming conventions will be for any variable, if I want student name or course name, student name, both are different words, right? The variable will be like joining the both using camel case. It will be started like this and go like this, where the second word, second letter in the second word will be, first letter in the second word will be capital. Student name ID, I only capital. ID card, C only capital. So how many what you do, those many camel cases will be there. Only first letter will be small. All others first letters will be capital. Even function name also add two nums. This is so. I will show you in JavaScript also how it is. Where a equal to this dot. If you put dot, char at, char code at, char point at, concat ends with, includes, index of, last index of, local compare. See, everything is a camel case. Those are functions. Got it, right? Even variables also we can create the same. We can, so the valid variables will be, you can put underscore on any name, underscore and name one. So this, for example, if I do name one, this is valid. If I do one name, that is invalid because if we give value means it will take as a value. It can't do that. Again, one and two will be in the center also. That is fine. Only this will be available. Apart from this, you cannot use minus plus because those will be operators operating on two variables. So that will not be acceptable in the name. That will be the function name or any name or even variable name, etc. Okay, that is the naming convention. Mainly, we want to use it. So now there is a strict mode in JavaScript. If I use strict, if I do use strict, use so I need to put on top actually. So I'll just show you online uh, JavaScript compiler. So just make this a equal to 5 where a. See now since we are okay, we need to put the whole use strict. You need to mention like this. What is the strict mode? So basically what it is happening. So it will do compile errors and all. Basically, see, let you are declaring before that you are trying to assign it. If you're using strict mode and all, these errors will be identified easily. Otherwise, it will say some undefined kind of for even where also. But basically, it will not throw. If you use strict right, then it will throw. I will just show you. Just inspect it. Go to console. Just clear it. And just do debugger. If you put debugger here in the code, debugger might come. Otherwise, you can put pointer also. But since we write our own code in console, we cannot put debugger. In file, we can put debugger, right? So what if I put where let? So, okay. So A is already defined, right? So we'll create B because we created A previously because in the same window we already have A. That's why it's asking for B, another variable. So in order to mention this kind of, we need to use strict mode. So sometimes we don't know because we created let variable after and we are using it before. At that time, if you use strict mode, right, JavaScript will do some compile errors, at least so that we can understand the errors and we need to rectify it. So because of the strict mode, but nobody we're using strict mode as of now because due to advancement, we're getting errors when we're typing only. So nowadays we are not using strict mode. In olden days, before Angular and before TypeScript and React, right? So we are using plain JavaScript, which is prone to errors more. At that time only we are using strict modes. Now anyway, we're just not using, but I'm just telling you, there is a one mode which exists strict mode. JavaScript. So see, if I just click here, it is loading this. It is loading this. If I loading this, if I click here, it is loading this page, this data. So this data it is getting, it will go some request to some server and get back the response. Without JavaScript, nothing will work. This all help with the help of JavaScript only because we want to store it and we want to populate this data. Even what I did here with the help of JavaScript only. చేయొచ్చు. So basically, now I will tell you. Now you see, I just opened .NET Core Developer. There is only 3 subjects. Now you open React.js, there are different subjects. So those are not static. They are coming dynamically with the help of JavaScript from server. I just given this. Again, here there are different modules with different names and different materials. These are not common for everything because I didn't write module 1 to 20 for each and every module in HTML. It is dynamically getting with the help of JavaScript from server. So that I'm using the same code of HTML and inserting the values, right? Here also same. Here also what I did, I'm using the same code, but every time value is different, right? X is Angular first, second is HTML first, third I will debug and I will show you again. So just inspect it. Go to sources. So I'll just put pointer here. Where I want to debug, here I want to debug. Pointer will stop there, okay? See now the X is Angular. I'm creating a button. So what is the element? Sample div is the element. So I just put inner text as Angular. What is the child? This is the button. So if you just put button here, child, right? You'll get the HTML element of that button Angular, right? So now I just add class name. So this I will add dynamically because I didn't created anything because I don't know which buttons are coming. Means which subjects will be there for what course. I don't know. It's dynamically getting. This dynamic driven data will be there with the help of JavaScript and you need to do some validation. For example, we have narendra@gmail.com. If you don't have at the rate of an email, it's not an invalid. We should have include at the rate. Your age is greater than 18, then only you have vote ID, right? That will be also need to check in front end website also. That is also JavaScript. If age greater than 18, this if else condition we write in JavaScript. The same way how it will be like. So let age equal to 18. If age greater than 18, then we need to put console.log your major. So everything in the browser, if you enter the username and password, it will say invalid and password that is coming from the server. These validations and all we need to check using the help of JavaScript only. Nobody will do that logics. Using JavaScript only we need to do that. Just building the static page and adding CSS colors, we will do that. Without JavaScript, we can't do this anything. You got it right. Yes. Yes, even in JavaScript idantha. But this is there in upcoming lectures. But I want to show you example, right? Subjects. Which subjects will be for which course? That is dynamic, not static. So even the dynamic means based on the course, subjects might change. Those are coming as JavaScript. In JavaScript logic only this one, we are adding dynamically. But and even you see here we have completed for batch 5 till. If it is not completed, it is not completed only. That I am not writing statically, right? Because for TypeScript, I cannot write the same code and just put and do this many. I cannot develop these many 12 HTML pages. I want only one HTML page. Course name will change dynamically. Month's duration will change dynamically. If I click on that, again I have only one page. Their modules will come dynamically with the help of data we have. Again, whether that particular module is completed or not, based on that, it will get gray or black, green. So that I need to write in JavaScript. I cannot create 12 web pages for 12 courses, right? Same web page for every course, but I'm doing dynamically with JavaScript. That's it. With the help of JavaScript, we can manipulate the web page. And even we can do request and response from the server. So that is the main use of JavaScript. Otherwise, I need to write 12 HTML files for the 12 courses. Again, I need to do all the logic that will be, it's not nothing but the HTML and CSS. With JavaScript only, we can do this dynamic way of doing the things. Even button click, that who will listen that click action? JavaScript only will listen. That will be JavaScript event, right? Even if I'm trying to register, you see here, whenever I'm entering, I'm not entering hyphen. Because of JavaScript only, I'm writing the logic to make hyphen after every 4 digit, but not after the last 12th digit, right? So that is what my logic. Again, if I enter 9 digits, it's asking red because we are making the length equal to 10 or not. If it is less than or greater than 10, I cannot accept because of JavaScript. We have min length, max length, right? We will use that. Less than 10, we will show as an error because that is invalid. We show please fill all the required whenever we click submit. That is with the help of JavaScript. Whenever I click ID generation, next is 45. We are getting that based on the data that is coming with the help of JavaScript. Again, so fee total 29,000, fee paid 2,000. We are calculating plus minus. That's it. And this is read only because due you cannot change, right, to 1 rupee. So it's automatically convertible. It is automatically. This is also JavaScript. So with the help of JavaScript, you need to do this number of things. Even here, I'm just selecting any Nellore. So now I have only Nellore. Again, if I remove it, I will get all the districts. It is also with the help of JavaScript. So everything will be help of JavaScript only.
CSS actually the body JavaScript and
All the logics will write in JavaScript. Got it, right? So we'll write that when the time comes.
Can you create login page? There won't be email and password. It's in Java.
That is upcoming. Upcoming. But I just want to tell you, we are using JavaScript. But in upcoming lectures, if I create and submit, and I want to show you the data, it's invalid or valid, so that you can easily understand. Within first class, if I write everything, right, mind will become blank. No issue. So dynamic behavior will be with the help of JavaScript only. Logics will be with the help of JavaScript. You can easily understand that, not an issue. So just try to execute the things first, not an issue. So where we are here, right? So yes. So using function keyword, we can create a function. So a function is nothing but a block of code which is having some number of statements. Every line is nothing but a statement. So if a function is nothing but a name, which is having some logic. So it is reusable code exactly. So now see calculator application. So you add 2 plus 3 equal to, it is adding 2 plus 3 and getting the back the result. That is the same function. Again, you add plus 5. Previous is executed. That result is again attached with plus 5. Again, that will be 7. Again, you add some 9. 7 plus 9. Again, you will send A as a 7, B as a 9. Again, that will become 16. Again, 16 plus 3. Again, A will become 16. B will become 3. Again, that will be calculated and it will return A plus B. So if function is returning something based on calculation using return keyword, you can send that. So, and we can store that in some variable, let result equal to, or we can directly print it. This is with the help of JavaScript only. So what is this student ID card name? So this is invalid, okay? Yeah, so we are adding 1, 2. So if you're adding 16 comma 2, it's 18. So we're getting that function is a reusable block of code with inputs and returning some output based on the logic what you written inside. The logic will be addition of 2 numbers. This is console log, it's fine. It's not required. We're just logging that. Nobody using that. Here we are using that addition of 2 numbers. The calculator application will work on the same. That is nothing but the function. Now, if I do type of, here we have type of operator. Type of is an operator. If I do type of add, again if I do console.log type of square braces. Type of 1. We'll get the type of that. Which type it is? Number type or function type. We'll get that. Type of undefined. Type of common. Type of null. See, the first one is function. I'll just debug it so that you can easily understand. While you are in debugging, you can execute the same code. You can execute the same code in console also. Are you getting? Okay. Age is not assigned. Yes. Now you can execute. You can execute the same code in console also. So whenever it is there, okay. So that will not get any error, okay. So because that is there now currently in the script scope, that's why you can able to execute. If you're out of debugging mode, then you can't even execute that. Since it is there in the global scope, you can execute. The whole function you can't execute. So what I do whenever I'm debugging, if I'm finding an issue, right? In debugging, I will execute this. I will check whether it is working or not. Then I will make sure here in this pointer, okay, it will work definitely. So that is how I will do in debugging also, so that we can find out issues. So now let's see. Type of add. Before executing this, you can directly execute it here and can confirm. Type of add is a function because add is a function, right? Add is a function. That's why you'll get the type of that. What is the next one? Type of square braces. Array. It's an array. So basically, square braces we can store array values. So array is also an object here. So basically, we have primitive and non-primitive types in any programming language. In JavaScript also we have primitive like number, string, boolean, etc. Non-primitive like objects and custom types. So custom type will be if you create a student, he will have some custom property like name, course name, duration, etc. So that will be our custom type, which is also an object. Array is also an object here. Okay, in JavaScript, basically. What if I put type of, that will be an object. object will be, so in JavaScript, everything is an object. Even if you give 5 also, that will be having memory reference. Memory reference it is having means it's an object. So basically it will store as the memory reference. Okay. So what if I put type of 1? It will be number. What I put, if I put type of 1. Okay, it's suggesting the things, right? So I cannot show that. So okay, what is this type of undefined? Mahesh, type of undefined. Type of null, Harsha. Yeah, so type of null is object because objects will have null values. Numbers will not have null values. So that's why. So let's see type of null. So again, if you put type of undefined, it will be undefined only because it's an undefined. It's nothing but a data type. So this all are comes under primitive types. Null is an object. Undefined number, string, all will come as primitive types. Non-primitive objects, this and all arrays and objects will come as non-primitive types. Okay. So type of is an operator. If you want to create that, you can get that. Okay. So you want to get what type of the variable it is. There is a number object. You can get it using type of operator. Okay. So this is also required in interviews. They will ask you and make you confused so that if they make you confused, if you're not able to answer, they can eliminate you easily. That's why. So just download it and we have declaring meaningful names. Okay. So you can just download and practice the same wherever it is. Even window prompt, window confirm, everything I just written it here by just executing our own code. So now again see it is the function, right? We can do in-depth functions also, but I'll just mention functions will create 3 ways, 3 to 4 ways. I'll just explain you. First using function keyword. Second one using where add equal to like this, which will call as an arrow function, which is an advanced version of JavaScript. But anyway, this will also we can use it. But what is the difference between this and this? You need to get to know. Again, I will create this one. Let. Using let also we can create function. Where also we can create function. But give some different name, man. Otherwise, it will override with the same. Okay. Again, we can have different function like person. What we have like student, right? Name, role. We can use directly this dot name equal to name. This dot role equal to role. We can create like student s equal to new student. Where s equal to new student of, because it will accept by default it is as accepting name Suman and roll number T0001. So what if we put console dot log type of yes? If you put type of it, that will get the type of student function. Yeah. Object function. So this one level. 71 object. So it's an object of type which one? Student object. So just debug this and we'll show you. So how the memory is allocated for the different functions. I'll just put here. I'll just put here. Again I will put here. Again I will put here. Again I will put here. Now see. Open global scope. we have the student. Since it's a function, it is stored in the global scope with two variables, which is name, comma, roll number. So this we will call as constructor function. Why we'll call as constructor function? Because I will tell you. So whenever you're calling that function, right, you're creating the object for that. Directly, we are creating the object for the function. Using that object, you can able to get it. So inside this particular student, we have two variables, which is name. See, locally it is created name and roll number. Since you created this, so this will be referred to this particular student inside this. You got it right? You already have that. Students is the this function, which is having its own this reference. So this dot name, if you put right inside this, we have the name, and this is the current name, which is incoming. Don't confuse. Whatever it is coming here, that is this one. And whatever you put inside this, right? When you expand this, that will come here. Okay. So that will call as constructor function. By default, if you're calling that function, it will create an object for yes. Then I will show you what it will happen now. See, now you have the yes object, which is having two properties. It is automatically getting that. So now you have the yes object. See, yes is a student object, which is name and roll number. So now you'll put object dot get prototype of dot constructor dot name student. So this is the syntax, which is the constructor function. So this is one function and this is another function. So this will call as which function? Constructor function. This we will call as arrow function, which is a block scoped arrow function. This global scoped arrow function, this is the hoisted function with function name with function keyword. So again, now what we will do, we will call one by one. So how the memory is allocated, I will show you. Now, since we call student function, student is in global because that is constructor function with function keyword. Whatever the function with function keyword, whether it is normal function or constructor function, that will be hoisted. That is there in global scope. Are you clear at this point, right? So let's leave this. This is constructor function. How to get the constructor name? S is an object. Object dot constructor dot name will get it. So I'll put less constructor dot name. We'll get it like this. We'll get the name of that. N is small, which is camel case. Okay. So now just comment down this. So I'm just calling add now. So we'll just call directly this one. No need to put in result also. We'll directly call all this because that is returning the result. We're directly printing. Okay. So add one, add two. Fine. Let's debug this so that you can get the glimpse of it. So we have three finally. So now see, we have add two, add one and add. See, I already told you. So one is created with where, which is an arrow function, which is stored in global scope, but it will not have this reference when it comes to picture. So now we have add, right? What is the add we declared? Here we declared add, right? This will have this function, this reference or not. You'll have that because that is hoisted using function keyword. Let's go inside. Now it is having here, right? We just don't click next because it will execute and go to next line. We want to go inside the function. So we'll get inside the function. Now we'll get the this. this as undefined. Okay. Just execute the next one. Go to next. This is local scope. Now let's see. Whenever we execute function, this function, it is not having this local scope. 1 second, I'll just execute one more time. I'll just comment on this. Yes. Yeah, see here. So whenever we call this function age, we got this reference because we have salary. We have salary and we have subjects also. We have subjects also. So that is where it is getting from the global scope. So it is exist in the global scope. That is why you can able to read it. Because that is there in the script scope. Why it is in script scope? Because that is there in let and const. You see, the subjects, not the subjects. Salary. Salary, what is an age? Age is the salary and the age is nothing but let and const, which is a block scope. That is why it is there in script scope. If I'm trying to execute it, it will execute because it is there in script scope. If it is there in local scope, it can't get it. Now here, uh, look at this function. Since it is able to get from which scope? This is there in the global scope. This is there in the global scope. And now we are calling that. So these are coming from the script scope. These both memories are different, but still this can be accessible in the global scope. And global scope can be accessible in the script scope. But those are different because of its responsibility, const and let. So now in this function, we can able to access it. Now see here, add to. Add to Add to is there in the script scope. Why? Because it is not there with the function keyword, but it is like function with attached to one variable, right? Now add to is a variable which is created with let, that is attached with arrow function that will not be hoisted. That's why it will be the script scope. That's why add to is in the script scope. You got it right. Now just remember, just go to add one. Now let's see. We have add one, right? Now we have add one, but A is 16, B is 2. We don't have this. We don't have this is undefined because this function is not hoisted. This variable is hoisted, but this function is not hoisted. That's why whenever we are executing function, here it is also this is undefined. But for normal functions, we'll get this as window, what we see in previous example, right? So that we will got as window. But since it's an arrow function, it will not get the window reference. You got it right. Why we will not get window reference? If it is not hoisted, we will not get it. But here we are attached to using where variable is hoisted, but function is not hoisted. You got it right. Variable is hoisted, but function is hoisted. If function is hoisted using function keyword, then only that will be allocated with this reference. Otherwise, it will not be allocated with this reference. You got it right. So that is the difference between function with keyword, function with where arrow function and let arrow function. If it is let arrow function, it will not store in the global scope, but it will store in the script scope or block scope. If it is there in the inside the function or inside the loops. If we create function with arrow function using where, right, then that might store in global scope, but that will not be hoisted and that will not be sharing this reference. So that is the difference between arrow function with where and let and function with function keyword. And that is that is the another one, which is constructor function. Constructor function directly you can create using new. You can send the parameters directly. So using this dot variable name, you can directly create one more copy of the inside and it will return the object of the modified object. So that you can directly access s dot name, s dot roll number 1, s dot name 1. If you want to get the type of it, you will get it. S dot constructor dot name, you will get it. So that is what function with keyword arrow function. Like so how to build it? Arrow function using equal to and greater than, and using open braces and closed brace. Hot bar out. అర్థమైందా? కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ ఉంటుంది ఫస్ట్ టైం కదా జావాస్క్రిప్ట్. ఇంకా మళ్ళీ నేను డైలీ డీబగ్గింగ్ చేస్తా కాబట్టి సో యూ కెన్ ఈజీలీ అండర్స్టాండ్. సో దిస్ స్కోప్, గ్లోబల్ స్కోప్, స్క్రిప్ట్ స్కోప్, బ్లాక్ స్కోప్, లోకల్ స్కోప్. ఫంక్షన్ కి లోకల్ స్కోప్ వస్తుంది, బ్లాక్ స్కోప్ లూప్స్ ఫర్ లూప్ ఇన్సైడ్ వస్తుంది, స్క్రిప్ట్ స్కోప్ let and const whenever you create inside the script that will come. Global or window scope for all the hosting variables and functions. That is what all about scoping. You'll get all that particular material in this where in this JavaScript. You'll get all those material here. Here you just go through that. We'll continue tomorrow. So just go through that and practice till this point. Whatever I given the examples, right? You just download and practice it so that you can get clarity. Mahesh, Yatish,
Yes, sir.
Vishnu, all okay na?
సార్ 2 to 3 times విన్నాను సార్ మళ్ళీ అర్థం కాదు.
అవునా? ఓకే, రికార్డింగ్ వినండి. సో
Yes,
అర్థం
sir.
కాకపోతే రేపు మళ్ళీ చెప్తా ఏది అర్థం కాలేదు అని. ఓకేనా?